Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Well, it's not a happy Cowboy day. It's not going to be a happy Cowboy week, and it's not going to be a happy Cowboy off season. So, I'd call that a pretty tough loss if you're as a fan of the Cowboys. I felt like the defense did exactly what they needed to do to win the game. You know, all last week I kept thinking if the Cowboys could hold the 49ers to 21 points or under, they'd win the game. I was wrong. Bad Dak showed up. And then really when Tony Pollard got hurt, you know, Zeke just, you know, there were 3 plays that the offensive line opened holes big enough to run a Mack truck through. And Zeke got 3 yards on one, 4 on another, and 2 on the other. Even the announcers mentioned twice on 2 of them. Boy, I thought he was going to go for some yards on that one. But no. And then, you know, the 2 interceptions, really poor throws. Even some of his completions were just really poor throws. You know, you just bad Dak showed up, unfortunately. So, good afternoon. So, you know, the morning show I watch, the completion, even the completion to CeeDee Lamb on the deep ball where he got the interference call. If he throws that ball where it should be thrown, that's 6 points. CeeDee Lamb's got 3 yards on the defender. The Michael Gallup ball. Michael Gallup's got 2 or 3 yards on him. He's wide open. He throws it behind him and deep. And then the CeeDee Lamb ball down the middle was just a joke throw. So underthrown. So just really bad. Coming by. Just really bad. Got to play better offense than that in big games. You know, and then after the game, I thought Mike McCarthy showed some real professionalism, and I mean that seriously. When they asked him what he thought of Dak's performance, he took the high road. But this is 27 years now of hearing Jerry Jones apologize to us fans. That's getting old. And 7 years now of Dak saying after the season ends, well, it was disappointing. We're going to have to do better next year. I'm going to do better next year. Well, I've heard that for 7 seasons now, Dak. And you're still the quarterback. You know, you're a 4th round draft pick who's very inconsistent. Coming by on the left. Just poor performance by the offense. Not going to beat nobody scoring 12 points. So, so the Cowboy talk's about done for the year. We'll talk a little bit of maybe what they do in the off season, if they do anything. I'm out here at the park And the park here has about almost a 3-mile trail. It's about 2.9 miles around. It's a cold or a cool day. It's in the low 50s. Little bit of wind blowing, not a heavy wind. I'm out on the XP Lite, the Lectric. Through all this past 3 weeks, and you know, we've had some really nice weather here the past 3 weeks until the past couple of days. Saturday here was just beautiful. But through all the, I didn't even notice that I had gone past the 2,000 mile mark on this bike. I'm up to 2020, just hit 220 or 2020. So 2,020 miles on this little bike. Let me say this about this little bike. If I had known more about e-biking, you know what, I take that back. I'd probably still have this bike. The price of it was so inexpensive to get in the door of e-biking and check it out. And I wish I had changed the tires on it to street tires a hell of a lot earlier than 1,830 miles. But other than that, it's a good riding bike, especially now that I have some street tires. It's just a lot smoother riding. But if you're a guy who enjoys cycling and is considering getting an e-bike, if you like riding mountain bikes and you like going fairly quickly, or a road bike quickly, this isn't the bike you want. You want a bike with, you know, a 750 1,000-watt motor, at least a 25 amp controller. Something with some zip on it. I wouldn't even buy another rad power bike unless it's one I could swap the controller out to a 35 amp controller upgrade from Area 13. Even though the kit doesn't make the bike go any faster top speed, it makes a hell of a difference in your hill climbing power and your torque and your acceleration. You know, this little bike it's great on days when there's no wind. You know, here in Texas, we have a lot of wind. Riding back into the wind on this bike, especially if it's 20 to 30 miles per hour, it just stands this little bike right up. You know, you got to go into too high of a pedal assist level to combat the wind, and then you don't get the range because the battery's only 7 amp hours. But if you're looking for something and you only want to stay around that 20 mile an hour top speed, don't want to break the bank, you know, this bike's a good deal for the money. I'd invest the 50 bucks in the street tires a lot earlier and change them out. It's going to make your ride more pleasant. Way less vibration. Even the rad with those knobbies shakes, rattles, and rolls a little bit more than it should. So something moved in the shrubs back there, in the cattails that are all dormant. Probably a bird in there or something. But other than not being great on real windy days, this is, hell, obviously I gone 2,020 miles, so I don't think I'll be riding that much on it this next year. And I haven't even got to a year yet. It won't be a year until June the 9th when I got this bike. So I have. So I misspeak. It's 20. We're going to be 20 that soon. And I have 932 miles on the rad total. 232 of that's on the new controller and display. I went on a pretty long ride on that Saturday. It's one of the reasons why I'm going to be probably adding a third bike to the channel fleet, just to spread the miles out more between the bikes. You know, the Rad has so much of a better ride than this. Still, even with this having street tires on it, the Rad still, you know, the Rad rides more like a big bike than this bike does. So those 4-inch fat tires make quite a bit of difference. So and then, you know, the other thing, the Rad has a huge front fork on it, especially compared to this. So, you know, like here where I can feel pretty much these expansion joints in the sidewalks here, or in the trail. On the Rad, you can't feel these. Now, it's better on this than it was, but you still feel them. And you can kind of hear them. Thump, 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 thump. But the ride quality is so much better with these tires on here than it was. So we got some winter coming up back here, starting tonight. Talking about some rain moving in, and possibly tomorrow some light snow. A little bit of winter. And then Friday it's supposed to warm right back up into the low 60s. And this weekend be pretty nice. And then next week it looks like maybe a little bit cooler. So if it weren't for that little bit of wind, it really wouldn't be too bad out here today. Coming by on the right, sir. So there, now we're in that good sun. Certainly makes it better being in that bright sunshine. So anyway, I woke up this morning about 3:30 in the morning with a terrible headache. Was pretty mad about the offense's performance. We'll see. It's going to be hard for them to get off Dak. As much money as they've given him. So it's going to be hard for them to get off Dak, given the cash they've thrown at him. Maybe they could find a trade partner. I don't know. I think 7 years, he is what he is. We've seen what we're going to see. I think this year was his best chance. And even with the poor decisions they made in the offseason, like to let Amari Cooper go for a 5th round draft pick, that was just stupid. He had a pretty good season with Cleveland. I would have liked to have had his numbers he had in Cleveland here. Hell, they ended up picking that James Washington or whoever it was in the offseason, and then they cut him before the season ended. So, he was supposed to be Amari Cooper's replacement. Sometimes the decisions you make, you think are helping your team, really don't. Sometimes it makes you wonder if him and Dak were getting along and they moved from Amari because of something stupid like that. I hope not. Either way, it was stupid, whatever it was, whatever reason. So I'm really looking forward to March and April and May. That's like I said, what am I at?
It's 2022.
222 on this one, 932 on the other one. So we're just a little bit under 3,000 miles. We'll be there soon. I might actually get 4,500 miles in before June actually gets here, possibly. Because I should be able to get some good riding in March, April, and May. Well, I hope I don't do 2,022 more miles on this thing. we'll see how the year goes. The rest of this riding season still has a few months left in it. Well, thanks for letting me spew the Cowboys and talk a little bit about this bike. And I appreciate everybody coming along on the ride with me. Please hit the like button, subscribe, leave me some comments. Tell me what you think the Cowboys should do this off-season. What moves would you make? Thanks a lot for coming on the ride with me, and we'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a good one.